Hi, I'm Stacy from Stacy, Kenya. I am doing nursing in Germany, and if you like traveling, you are at the right channel because I make videos about programs offered in Europe that can enable you to travel and explore Europe. Programs such as au pair programs in Europe, volunteer programs in Germany, and Ausbildung in Germany. Programs are life-changing programs. Yeah, you should grab these opportunities. Yeah, I get a lot of questions from my viewers, just like you, on how I moved from Kenya to Germany. Like, did I pay for traveling agency? Did I have pay for an agent? Did I like have people from these sites connecting me? But the answer is no. Exactly as I share in my videos, that's how I applied for this program. I did not pay for any traveling agency. I did not pay for any agent or have people connecting me from this side. I applied just like I share in my videos. Yeah, and actually it was a very sad story that God turned it into a beautiful story, and I'm here to tell you that you can do this alone and everything is possible under this sun. Only you trust in the Lord, work hard, be patient, because everything takes time. It's not just like pap, you know. I moved from Kenya to Germany. As I told you, it was a sad story that Lord turned into a beautiful story. I can say a testimony. Yeah, from a house help, which is Kadama in Middle East, to a nursing student in Germany. Isn't that beautiful? How about you grabbing your popcorn as you relax and listen to my sad story that the Lord rewrote it into a beautiful story. I promise you, you will learn a lot, like how you can travel and explore the world. Here is the point. You don't have to come from a wealthy or a rich family. I am just an ordinary Kenyan girl from a humble background. I'm sorry for my schlecht background. I had to move from outside and come to do this video in my study table because the sun was sunning and then the light was too much for my mobile phone. For my camera, I use my phone to shoot my video. Let's dive in. How did I end up living in Germany? I'm going to divide my story into 3 parts. I'm going to talk about how I received this information about au pair program in Germany, challenges I faced during my application for au pair program in Germany, and my life as an au pair in Germany, and how I changed my au pair visa to volunteer visa, and now I'm doing nursing. Yeah, now let's start with how I applied for my au pair in Germany. As I said, I knew about au pair program when I was in Middle East, like Akadama, for a better word, house manager in Qatar. Yeah, and before talking about that, the au pair process, let me first introduce myself because it's a question I get from my viewers. Yeah, just like you. So, who is Stacy? Stacy Kenya was born in Machakos County, 50 kilometers from Nairobi, Machakos level 5. I was brought up by my grandmother because my mom passed on when I was a baby. And when my mom died, our family splitted because my mom was the only child. We were not blessed to have uncles or aunties. Yeah, our firstborn then was 14 years old. She was in class 8, and I was lucky to be brought up partially by children's home. That was Exodus Children's Home, and the church GCC Machakos kwa Kababu. Nilikuwa naitwa mwitu wa Kababu. Yeah. Yeah, kwa Kababu. Yeah, for those of you who come from Machakos, partially by there was a Muradi in Redeemed Gospel Church that took care of me as well. They chipped in, like buying food for us with my grandma. Yeah, my teachers, my Sunday school teachers, my nursery school teacher, yeah, and let me say well-wishers, yeah, and we were blessed to have like cousins to my mom. They chipped in, something that I thank God so much, because I know most of the people don't know cousins to their parents. So cousins to my mom, they tried so much. And because of challenges here and there, I was brought up in different parts of Kenya. Western part of Kenya, Nairobi, and in Machakos. Kidogo tu. Yeah, here and there. During my last year in high school, my grandmother died, and she kind of died with part of me because she was my family. You know, like when I was growing up, when I was like self-discovery and everything, if I can remember my primary school, my nursery school, we were just two of us, yeah? And she was my family. She was my mom. She was my everything. She was my sibling. She's the person who was like pushing me and telling me that I am the change that I want to see in my life. And if I work hard, one day I will have a place I can call home. I will buy myself a shamba and I can have a place I can call home. We never had a place we can call home. So that broke me. I didn't like understand why God did that. I felt that God hated me so much. Yeah, and I hated him. Like I could even say, God, I hate you for taking my grandmother away. Look, we struggled, like running after bursaries all the time, coming to beg. I stay in school, and then it's my final year, and she won't even see me getting that good grade because I was a hardworking student, and her death like affected me big time, you know. Yeah, so when my grandma died, I finished my high school, and through the help of a friend, I got connections to go to Middle East. The agency lied to me that I was going a barista job. Yeah, that was in Beirut, Lebanon. But when I arrived, I found out it was a house girl. But I was lucky. I got wonderful family in Beirut. I explained myself like I didn't come for a house girl. I came for this, and I talked to them and told them. They even asked for our, you know, the final exam you do before it is mocks, yeah, before you do your KCSE. Yeah, I told them, look, they even asked for our final exam because I had not like received my results. I had just finished like 1 week after I finished my high school. Even the passport didn't like took like 3 days, and I had passport there. The office did everything for me. Yeah, they did everything for me, includes like they even asked me, do you really want to go to Middle East? I said, yeah, I want to go and work. And they told me, never ever mentioned about because I was young. I was not even 18 years, and I really wanted to have roof over my head. Yeah, I really wanted to have like basic needs. And if I would not have ended up going to Middle East, I would have been like a prostitute or a thief or something else that I don't even, it was like ugly life because I had no one to run to. I'm a young girl. So when I went to the office, they asked me, do you want to go? Yes. Are you sure? Yeah. Then I said, okay. Then they added my age in the passport came with plus 3 more years. And they told me, never ever like mention this, you know, swaitaja kama hizo. So that is what happened. And when I arrived in Beirut, as I said, I was shocked because the job was nothing to do with hotel. It was a house girl, but the family, like, they were so nice, so they took me in and I stayed with them for 2 years, and then I went back to my country. In Beirut, I was earning only 250, so I did not make good money that could have like helped me to study in Kenya, even though I had like a very good grade for public university in Kenya. The jobs kind of a thing, because I remember my friend who was had already like enrolled in the university, and she was like telling me how I can like apply for my jobs and everything. But then I was already 2 years, I think, you know, yeah. And to cut the story short, when I went back home, I didn't like go to school because the money was not enough. So I thought maybe if I go to Qatar, I will hustle and add up the money, and now I will come to Lebanon with the job thing, and then I will or help, and then now I will go to school. Or again, I didn't have the right information on what to do, you know. It was not like now where you just Google stuff and you can inform yourself from so many online handles. So yeah, I wasn't that lucky. So through the friend who had like connected me to Lebanon, she was as well in Lebanon and she had already finished her contract, so she was in Qatar. And now she told me, Stacy, you have to come. Here is even better pay, blah 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 blah. And then now she connected me. I got my visa through my WhatsApp, and it's when I left to Qatar for 2 years. And yeah, my contract in Qatar was 2 years. And then in Qatar, it's where things went baya, like not as I expected. I stayed with the family. I was taking care of the kids. We were like 3 in the house, in the villa. We had a Filipino, we had an Ethiopian, and me, a Kenyan. Well, I was taking care of the kids. And so when I finished my contract, before I finished, like some 6 weeks or like some, like I can say 2 months before I finished my contract, my host, like they had planned to travel, the mama with the children, they had planned to travel, and they were applying visa for me, like to travel with the mama because of the kids, yeah. And so I didn't get a visa, and I was told they go back to my country to apply my visa from there. They had visas like 5, like the multiple entrants, yeah. So they were like, the papa would even come to go to USA and come back like that, yeah. Even before I started my contract, they had told me that they were in USA, yeah. So they had like 5 years visa. They could come in Germany and like that, go to Turkey. So the host mom wanted to travel with us, with me and the kids, yeah. But I did not get a visa. I was told to go back to my country and apply my visa from there. So what they did, they tried for the Ethiopian, but the Ethiopian was not that good with kids, but she was a very good cook, because she could not speak Arabic very well. Even like she had stayed in Qatar for a long time with his family, but still she was not so good. The kids would always like complain, anatupiganga, you know. So they didn't like There was that difference, yeah. So the kids wanted to go with the Filipino. If I was not going, the Filipino would go, but then the Filipino, they would like help each other because there were so many kids, you can say. They were like kids from the family. So the mom had like only 2 kids, and then she you know the way Qatar they live like the villa. So the kids were traveling. There were 11 kids were traveling with, so they needed 2 people to take care of these kids. And so I was now to remain with the husband. Before my boss lady traveled with the kids, Filipino and the Ethiopian girls got their visa. And so like when we were playing with the kids, one kid like came running and she was like, you know what guys, she hugged me and she was like, you know what guys, Stacy is gonna be staying with us for other 3 years. Okay, I was shocked. When was that? Who said that? Yeah, and the kid was like, yeah, my papa said so. And I asked, when am I going home? That is, it was in front of his brothers and his other cousins, yeah, men. And he was like, you're not going home, Stacy. You're not going home anytime soon. You already signed contract that you renewed your contract for 3 more years. I was like, no, I didn't. Yeah. He said, Stacy, you did. You signed the contract. I was like, when did I sign the contract? I started crying. But then life changed from that moment. Yeah. The torture began. Nobody talked to me. And they told the kids, Stacy is a bad girl, don't talk to her. She wants to go away. She doesn't want to be with you guys anymore. She's a bad person. A good person renews their contract. Isolated, and not to stay on bed. I was told to stay chini, not kwa mkeka or kwa mat, kwa carpet or anything, to stay on the floor. They like folded one of the mat. I stayed down there. Yeah. And so when we finished, like they finished eating and stayed around 11 p.m. we went back home with the other kids. The kids were many, so they went to them. So they were to stay that day to relax, and then the following day in the morning they were supposed to fly. After like helping, like unpacking and like showing the new, because they were visitors, they were like, okay, it's their auntie's place, yeah, but to showing them where to sleep and everything, that one I was allowed. Then after that I was told by the man, come with me, Stacy. And so he went with me and he showed me ways I want everything. Yeah. He told me, where's your money? You don't send money home. Where's your money? I said, what? I said, no, you can book ticket. Yeah, if you want me to book for you your ticket, show me where your money is. I said, okay. I lifted because I never had like a bank account. So I lifted my mattress and I gave him. So he took all the money that I had saved for those 2 years. And it was 2 years plus 6 months, because every time I would ask, when am I going home? They would say, wait until we get someone to represent you. So it went up to 6 months after I finished my contract. And so he took my ID, my Kenyan certificate, education certificate. He took my driving license, my Kenyan everything, and the money that I had saved. And he told me, move, come with me. He now locked me in the next room. Remember, the wife is still there. The wife cannot say anything. She was just quiet, and yeah, you could just see tears like here, you know. And so he locked me in that small room until the lady, without food. I was not brought any food, yeah, until it was like the home was silent, but there was light. Yeah, it was not a dark room. There was a window, yeah, but it was like second floor, so I could not even jump through the window. And so they left. There was like silent. And then after some time, I think it was after 2 days after this family left, this man came. He brought for me white rice, Pepsi and water. Yeah. And now he started torturing me, physically abusing me, verbally, you know, sex abuse and everything. He would come with his Vaseline, he would come and like, you know, do stuff, a lot of stuff with me. And it came with 3,000 Qatar riyal, which I believe they are from my money that I had saved, yeah. And he would tell me, if you don't fight, if I don't have to tie you when I want to do when I'm doing stuff with you, if we can enjoy this together, then this 3,000 Qatar riyal will be yours. And when you promise you won't talk about this with my family or with anyone, and you promise to stay with us for the next 3 years, just the way you signed your contract, then I'll be paying you secretly 3,000. I will be letting you know when I put the money in this, you just come and pick, and you don't have to tell my husband, my wife. Then it continued like like almost like 2 weeks. And then something happened. I have healed, I'm still healing, I'm still under medication here. Yeah, and so something happened one day. After 2 weeks, I was counting when the sun rises, that's 1, 2. The mom came to bring these clothes, these white clothes they put on, these white clothes like gowns. And where I said it was a prayer room, it's where she came to place those clothes so that the man could come and take them there and to hang, because they were already in hanger from Dobby dry cleaner. And it's when he had like me, like when I used to hear movement, I would start crying and praying. I was scared and I was already hurt. I was already hurt, and I was doing my long haul the same place, because it was just like a room, like a simple, najua kale ka room tu, na kadirisha kalikuwa ni kama kadogo. I can say it's like a prison or something. And so I was doing my shit there. This guy had like brought for me a kimkebe, where there's this thing that ladies use when they go to the toilet there to wash themselves. So he had brought for me this thing like ni kama ka jug, but I couldn't even feel it because I was not drinking enough, you know. But the long haul I was still doing there, everything. And so when this lady came, he like alisikia you harufu mbaya. And when he was getting the next room had no door, it was just open, nika sitting room, nika style, yeah. So akasikia hiyo like the bad smell, and then he tried to open my room. Kumbe this guy, I don't understand his intention. How do you lock somebody in and then you leave the keys on the door? That is the mistake he did. So she had me crying, and she opened, and the smell from my excretion, So she opened the room and she like you want to kill me? I asked him, sorry, I was so weak. I was kwanza nilisonga kwa kona. Then I asked her, what do you mean I want to kill you? Yeah, can I even have the strength to talk to you, leave alone killing you? Said, no, Stacy, I didn't mean you killing me. I meant you killing me with heart attack. What are you doing here? And who locked you in? Did you push the door and it is by accident it locked itself? I said no, but again the keys, yeah, what are the keys doing out there? My son cannot do this. I said, your son did that to me, and your son did this to me. I couldn't even like walk properly. I was like kuharibiwa, yani alikuwa ameniumiza vibaya. And so this lady, she told me, no, okay, Stacy, take this shit to the toilet. And then the house was like full of mosquitoes because, you know, it is hot in Qatar, and the way he was like eating alone, he was just alone. So he told me, go throw the trash, and then you come back, you take shower, and if you promise that you will not share this information with anyone, I will clear everything with my son and you won't go to police. Then I asked him, why will I go to police? I've not done anything. He said, no, my son said you stole 6,000 Qatar Riyal, and you stole golden watch, and you stole again belts, his expensive belts, and so you're being searched by police. I said, no, I did not do that. And she saw the 3,000 that the son had, like, alikuwa ameziekelea on something, and this is the money that part of the money that my son said you stole. I said, no, he brought that money there, and he always tell me if I say yes to him, if I'm not fighting him, and if I'm not going to stop to tell on him, that money will be my money, and I did not give it to him. So he forced himself to me, and he has done all this to me. He said, no, something triggered my son. You seduced my son. My son cannot do something like this. And so that is when I ran, when I went to throw the trash outside. I don't know where the energy came from. Remember, I left when I was with his gown. It is a very transparent Lera, very transparent one. I went to throw trash, no shoes, then I ran away. And I ran, and I met a Kenyan, Ghana man. I stopped the man and I told him, and this guy asked me, how did you run away from your house? And you are a house girl and you ran away. You want to go and meet your boyfriend outside here, because that's what guys do. You know, look at me, I have been it has been 2 weeks now, yeah? Please, you need to help me or he is going to kill me. He told me, are you serious? Yes, he has done this to me before. And when we were talking, Muharo told me talk to me. And so when he saw that, he just stopped my daddy from Germany, this guy called me. So I had to hustle and keep on going to the embassy to check if they have brought my document. Yeah. And then the embassy told me if I have money to pay for myself to travel back home, then they can just write for me a letter. I just traveling document, I go back with it. But I didn't have any money to pay my ticket, so I had to go and hustle, yeah, and be careful not to kunishikwe na polisi, because this man had already like kuniekelea vitu za uongo, and that time I was sick and weak, but I had to be strong for me, you know. And so it is during this time this lady told me I was an au pair in Germany, and after being an au pair, she started an au pair in UK, then she moved to Germany, and during her au pair in UK she had met a boyfriend. And the boyfriend, now when she became an au pair in Germany, the boyfriend got a job in Qatar. And then after some time she did, after au pair in Germany, she did paramedic Ausbildung in Germany and to his UK guy, and then they moved to Qatar, yeah. And now she told me if you can like apply for this program, then you can be. And so I started my au pair search during that time. I worked so hard and I bought a phone. Before buying a phone, I could use the iPad for this South African lady, the boy, Jackie. I would borrow the tablet and she would tell me use it when she is in school to apply for your project, for your au pair, and then make sure that you log out, yeah. So that is how I searched for my host family. God say dank, yani Mungu tu asifiwe. Nilipata familia kama niko Qatar, sina passport, sina pesa, yani I had no where to start. I didn't have like my anything, yeah. I didn't even have a single coin because I was trying to raise my money to go back to Kenya. But I was like asking myself, if I go back to Kenya, how will I even like raise money to go to German course, yeah? So I wanted to stay longer in Qatar to save money, but I could not continue staying in Qatar because I was so scared. This man can like catch me, like I can get into big trouble. So I kept on going to the embassy, and after some time I had to go to the embassy and tell them I didn't raise my money, so I just need you to write for me a traveling document and just go back home, yeah. That time I had already got a family in Germany, so I was so hopeful that I will come to Germany. They had already sent me contract, but the thing is I had not told them that I don't have a one. The family was not even speaking English to me. They told me German to me. They said, we want to communicate very important information, so we keep it in English, but immediately you come here we won't be using English, so that you can verbessern, you can better your Germans, but now we can talk in English, yeah. And so that's how I got my my host family. So I went to the embassy, and then sema sa kwenda kunini kuibiwa the small money that I had used. The embassy sent me to join other people because I said I don't have money, so I have to go and wait. When I call home, I don't have actually anyone I can call to help me to raise some money to come home. So I had nobody. The embassy took me to another place. They told me you're going to stay here until we bring for you we book for you ticket, and we don't know when, so you're going to stay here. So I waited, I got my ticket. So I lost my family through staying without communication. When I went to this place, the little money I had saved was stolen. So I came back home like standing. I didn't have anything at all. Naona venye shetani yuko. But then my idea arrived at the Kenyan airport. I didn't know where to go. I was crying. I don't know even how I can move from the airport to any other location. I didn't have anywhere to go. So God opened like a door for me. There's this lady who saw me like I was crying, and she was sitting on a plane, the chair, the other side. And so she said, hi, we came together in the plane. And what is it? Why are you crying? I said, I don't know where to go actually, and I don't have transport to take me anywhere. She said, no, I cannot. I don't have a change. You don't staki kuchange zangu hapa. Yeah, but my mom is coming to pick me up. Do you want to? My mom has a car. do you want to go with me? So they dropped me at Resambu, and then they gave me a phone. I called a friend, and then I went to this lady. Yeah, she was my bestie in high school. So I went at her place. And when you hear miracles, when you hear seeing God, I have seen him. Sitaki kuambiwa kuhusu Mungu. We are related. He's my papa, he's my mama. We are like this. Chanda na pete. Me and him. Tunajuana tu kivyetu. Yeah? God opened a way. I didn't have any documents. But remember, I went home without Kenyan ID, Kenyan passport, with nothing. No money, nothing. But at the same time, I went through a friend. I went to church and I met with his friend, and he introduced me to his family. And the family, I shared my story, and then the family talked to a lawyer. The family was like, can we sue this guy in Qatar? But this lawyer was like, sasa tunasue Mwarabu, situsaidie tu msichana afanye nini? Kila mtu atoe kitu kidogo, tusaidie msichana at least atibiwe, at least akue yeye tena kuliko tuanze sasa kufuatana na Mwarabu. And so this is what the lawyer did. He made sure that I got my documents in 4 days. I had my passport. I had a Kasimu where I started searching for. I shared with him my dream is to come to Germany. I started using my Facebook groups. I joined Facebook groups, au pair in Austria, au pair in Germany. Everywhere, au pair sites. I searched, and then I got a family that supported me with the German course. You see, God. They didn't pay my German course, but at least they provided transport for me to commute from Raisambo to Goethe. And in Goethe, when I arrived, they told me, no, we can't pick you because you are late. But I said, I have to go to Germany. I have to. I can't wait until, 2 months, ningie A1. I have to join A1 now. You have to do something, I told them. I even have a contract. I showed them my other contract that I had been sent via email. Then I said, tutaona, acha tuone kama it's possible, but the class is full. So when they started the class, there are some girls who, the girls, they didn't show up for 3 days, and I was told you can now join. Now I joined for 3 weeks. The class was now already 3 weeks, and it was supposed to run until only for 1 month. So I did my German course. This lawyer supported me. It was a miracle without asking me, woman, what do you have? Remember my trust in men. It was I hated men from my experience with my boss. This man never even, he told me I'm married. You just missed that time when I was being introduced to him. My wife has just left with the child. So I'm married, I have children, and just know that I'm here to help you. You are like my little sister. And I had trouble when I was in India. He did his law in India. So I'm going to help you, and you should help other people when you get this opportunity. And that's why I do my videos. And so far, Stacy Kenya has seen 14 girls here and 1 boy. You see? Yeah. And so this guy supported me. I got a family. I was 24 hours in aupea.com sending messages the way I share in my YouTube, in my first video. Please make sure that you watch it. Where? After getting au pair host family in Germany, other problem developed at the embassy. Oh, your motivational letter is not good enough. I was denied visa 9 times. I remember I was submitting my papers and I would receive message, hapo. Your passport even have not moved from the embassy. You have not even gone out of the environment, the embassy environment. I received a letter. Your passport has been dispatched. Who does that? I'm just there with you. Why are you not giving me my passport? I don't have income. Why you not just tell me, okay, msichana chukua passport yako. Why are you dispatching my passport? I go again use money. I was that crazy, yeah. Shida ni mbaya, yeah. But I kept on going. After being denied visa for 9 times, I went again and again and again until I got my visa. And now I am in Germany. I finished my au pair program. I finished my volunteer program in Germany, and now I am doing nursing. What the Lord can do, no man can do. He fought for me. That was him trying to tell me, my child, wewe tu ni wangu. Maisha yako nimeshapanga. Unaweza ukakataza hiyo visa mara 9, lakini nina mipango miema juu ya maisha yako. And what do you learn from this video? Don't give up. Never give up. Keep on pressing. I will see you in my next video. Please like and subscribe. Remember, you and I can change a life by sharing this video with any other person who you know is interested in becoming an au pair in Germany, volunteer program in Germany, or